Okay. Okay, great. All right. So today we will be looking into one more chapter, okay, about cyber security, which is on computer forensics. Okay, we'll be looking into computer forensics. So this lecture actually is pretty theoretical, like if you ask me lah. Okay, if you ask me, the content of this lecture is actually very theoretical, and because it involves a lot of steps and procedures that you need to be aware of to while doing this forensics, okay, computer related forensics. And if you compare to the steps or the procedures in actual crime forensics, the steps are actually pretty much the same, except that in this context it is for cyber security. Okay, except that for this in this context, it is adapted for cybersecurity. Okay, so if you are a fan of CSI and all these detective investigative shows, uh, then you'll notice that a lot of this is actually has already you will actually have already observed this in in the movies, all right, and they are pretty much similar to that. Okay, so computer forensics actually deals with what to do after an incident has occurred. All right, what to do after an incident occur, or what to do do if you notice an incident occurring. Okay, what do you do after an incident has occurred, or what to do when you observe an incident occurring. All right, and why is this why is computer forensics important? Okay, what is the purpose of this topic that we are discussing for today? All right, so basically they are for three purpose. Okay, for three purpose. Okay, so one is to you want to analyze whether there are violations of law. Okay, violations of law, because why you do forensics? Because you want to find evidence. Okay, you want to find evidence so that you can charge the attacker or charge the person in the wrong in the court of law. Last week, okay, on Monday, we have already discussed about computer law, cyber security law. Okay, so we looked at the cyber laws in Malaysia, and we look at some of the cyber laws in US, and so we look at the cyber security agencies and organizations and bodies in Malaysia as well as in US. Okay, so why we want to conduct forensics is because we want to we want to collect the evidence. Okay, we want to collect evidence so that we can launch a criminal prosecution. Okay, we can launch a prosecution in the court of law. Okay, another one is for compliance. Okay, so we also do computer forensics. So this is typically for uh, audit. Okay, so we have there's this practice called cyber security audit. Okay, whereby if let's say you are an auditor, you will launch maybe some penetration testing, and you will actually look into the compliance. Okay, compliance, whether this organization has implemented the necessary cyber security defense, okay, against specific attacks that you are looking into. All right, so this is for compliance. Okay, this is another one. All right, so this will happen, although this will happen before an attack, but how you analyze the system and how do you audit the system, usually you will have to launch some penetration testing. So this is some form of attacks again. All right, and third one is investigating computer systems that have been remotely attacked. Okay, so this one relates to usually this is on network. Okay, network security. Okay, network security, network-based security. Okay, so attacks that is launched across the internet. Okay, so this will be in the form of hacking, DDoS, and all these things. All right. So these are what some of the purpose of conducting computer forensics. Okay, so the evidence, okay, the evidence that you collect, okay, as you can see, these are pretty much the same. If you watch those investigative series, okay, in Netflix or whatever, or on the internet, okay, so it's the same thing. You see, the evidence that you collect are what evidence? Okay, you have document evidence, you have verbal statements. Okay, so these verbal statements are from the witnesses, right? Then you have material objects admissible in the court of law. So you have related evidence. Okay, related evidence. So this can be the programming code. Okay, it can be samples of the malware. Okay, or it can be how to say, some the damages. Okay, the damages caused by the cybersecurity attack. Okay, so what is all this evidence? Why is all this evidence needed, and what are these evidence used for? Okay, so you need all this evidence to convince the judge and the jury. Okay, you need the evidence to convince the judge and jury. So although the crime is now on a different sphere, okay, is on a different sphere, meaning that it is on cyber security rather than, you know, those the usual crimes that you heard of, like stealing, robbing, murder, okay, extortion, and all these things. But now this is on cyber crime. Okay, this is on the cyberspace. Okay, but the process of the law is still the same. Okay, when a person is being charged in the court of law, the process is still the same. You will still go through jury, judge. Okay, you will go through police. Okay, the police. Okay, so the police also will have a division for cyber crimes. Okay, even in Malaysia, there is a division for cyber crimes. Okay, so the process is still the same one. All right. So the evidence is often of concern to auditors as well. Okay, so for those who are doing auditing, right, or even those who are analyzing the evidence, okay, even those who are analyzing the evidence, okay, you need to ensure, okay, that the evidence that you collect is convincing, meaning that you also need to show that the evidence has not been tempered or modified. Okay, because as a if let's say you are doing a cyber crime investigation, okay, then you collect all these documental verbal statements. Okay, so in the court you need to prove this evidence. So the defense, those those who are being charged, they will have a defense lawyer as well. So they will question the authenticity, okay, or the validity of this evidence. Okay, they will question, oh, has this evidence been tampered? Has this evidence been modified? Okay, like if you say that okay, the person who is being charged has put in some virus into the system, and this virus has caused this much of damage. Okay, then you show the evidence. Oh, this is the damage caused by the virus. Okay, so the defense team, okay, the defense lawyer, okay, will ask, oh, it seems that this evidence has been modified. Okay, so they look through the law. Okay, they can see, oh, maybe somebody has already modified this evidence, okay, to put in more damages than it should. Okay, so then the jury will not be convinced already. Okay, the judge and the jury will not be convinced. They will say that, okay, this evidence is not reliable, so it cannot be accepted in the court. Okay, so it is vital not only to collect the evidence but to ensure the evidence is original, okay, to preserve the evidence and the evidence has not been tampered or modified. Okay, so there are these are the standards for evidence. Okay, you need to ensure sufficiency. Okay, that means there is enough evidence to convince the jury. Okay, so if let's say you say that the virus caused 1 million in damage, so you need to show what are the damages done, and all these damages amount to 1 million ringgit. Okay, so you need to show this. Okay, it must be convincing and measure up without question. Okay, and competency, the evidence must be legally qualified and reliable. Okay, so it must be acceptable. Okay, that means this kind of evidence is acceptable in the court of law. Okay, so remember last week we had when we cover cyber law. Okay, we cover cyber law. There is if you remember, one of the law is on digital signature. Okay, if you remember carefully, one of the law I mentioned was on digital signature. All right. So in that particular law, all right, it mentions that even if you put a digital signature in a digital document, let's say a Word document, okay, you put in a digital signature. Okay, so let's make believe a digital signature. Okay, so let's say you sign this digitally. Okay, so for example, all right, so let's say this is your digital signature. Okay, so you sign this, you put in your digital signature in this document. Okay, so according to that particular law, all right, this digital signature is valid, meaning that the court will accept. If let's say a person sign this digitally, you can actually accept this in the court of law. All right, so this is what we mean that the evidence is legally qualified. Okay, because the let's say again the defense will say, oh, this is just somebody can make a copy of this document. Okay, can make a copy of this document and can put a fake digital signature. So this digital signature is not valid. Okay, but according to that particular cybersecurity law, okay, it says that a document, okay, a document with a digital signature is still admissible. Okay, it's still admissible. Okay, so let's say Wei Chin asks if that signature not signed by me but other stole and signed. Okay, so then it will be up to the defense to show that that digital signature or his. You remember when you have digital signature, you have your public key and your secret key. Okay, you sign the signature using your what? You sign your signature using the this is practical test question. You remember or not? Okay, you will sign the document using the private key. Yes. All right. So not public key. Okay. So you'll sign this using the private key and the secret key. Okay. So then again, like what Wei Chin asked, if let's say somebody stole your secret key, then it is up to you to prove that your signature has been stolen. Your secret key has been stolen. Okay, so that is another case to look upon already. Okay, so again, this is not something this is not something that we can say you lose your secret key, so what, I can make another secret key. That has very strong implications on okay, because of again the cybersecurity law that we have discussed last week. And next week when we look into blockchain, you will see that your private key is also very, very important. Okay, if you lose your private key, okay, in blockchain, especially for cryptocurrency, if you lose your private key, all your money in the e-wallet of the cryptocurrency will be gone. Okay, so that has a lot of implications there. Okay, and this has occurred to even to people I know. Okay, meaning that their e-wallet got hacked. Okay, their e-wallet got hacked, and all their money in their e-wallet for the cryptocurrency Bitcoin they are doing Bitcoin. Okay, all has been transferred out. Okay, all right, so this has a lot of implications. All right, so now you are just learning about public key, private key, to sign, to verify, to encrypt, to decrypt. Okay, but in real life nowadays, especially, okay, with cryptocurrency, there's a lot of implications with public key and private key. Okay, we will look more into that next week. Okay, when we cover about blockchain. Okay, all right. So types of evidence they have. All right, you have all right, types of evidence that you have. You have direct evidence. Okay, direct evidence means that is from the eyewitness. Okay, so this is from the person who has actually witnessed the crime occurring. Okay, then you have real evidence or physical evidence. Okay, that links the suspect to the scene of the crime. Okay, so perhaps this might be the evidence such as the virus, okay, or the CCTV footage, or the thumb drive. Okay, these are the real physical evidence. Okay, then you have documentary evidence. Okay, so documentary evidence mainly will be business records, prints, manuals. Okay, or in computer systems, you have all the logs, the network logs, the audit logs. Okay, who access what system at what time. Okay, so all these logs is there as well. All right, then you have demonstrative evidence. Okay, so demonstrative evidence is what you usually see in CSI CSI, a lot of this demonstrative evidence. Okay, so they will usually recreate the scene of the crime. Okay, they want to recreate the scene of the crime to show how the crime occurred. Okay, then you have redo the crime or the actions. Okay, or retrace the steps that were taken. Okay, so these are demonstrative evidence that is usually what you see in a lot of the shows. Right, they will always like to recreate the scene of the crime. Okay, all right, so now, so first thing, when let's say after an incident has occurred, okay, so first thing you need to do is you need to identify what are the evidence that you want to collect. Okay, what are the evidence that you want to collect? Okay, so that's where you have to identify the evidence. Okay, so first thing is all the evidence that you collect. All right, you need to label and store. Okay, ensure that the labels cannot be removed easily. Okay, keep a logbook. Okay, identify each piece of evidence. So all this is actually in general, when you are even in normal crimes, okay, in normal crimes, the authorities will have to follow these steps as well, not just in cybersecurity. Okay, not just in cybersecurity. All evidence, of course, you will need to label and store. You need to ensure that the labels cannot be modified, cannot be removed. Okay, then there will be a logbook. That means who actually handled the evidence. Okay, again, all this is to ensure the integrity of the evidence, so that when it's presented in the court, okay, the defense cannot question whether this evidence is still valid or not. Okay, whether this evidence has been modified or not. Okay. All right. So so the evidence should be specific enough, okay, for recollection later in the court. Okay, so what is this? All right, cryptocurrency. Yeah, I think there's also one talk in by FICT, if I'm not mistaken. There will be one talk on cryptocurrency as well. Okay, so back to the lecture. All right, the information should be specific enough for recollection later in the court. Okay, so again, you need to lock the identifying marks, okay, such as the device, model, serial number, okay, so that, let's say, you know, during the trial, right, during the trial, okay, when you call up certain evidence, okay, it will be easy to call this evidence out, okay, because there might be hundreds and hundreds of evidence that is collected. Okay, so you need to mark all this evidence so that in the court that time later during the trial, okay, so you will say, I would like to show you the evidence, let's say evidence serial 2325. Okay, so the people, the authorities will then need to get and search in the evidence room. Okay, what is evidence 2325? Okay, so if let's say you never label it correctly, okay, if you didn't label the evidence correctly, then later they cannot find that particular evidence that you want to show in the court. Okay, so this is this is important, all right. So that's why the labeling is also very important. Okay, so and it is also important to be methodical while identifying the evidence. Okay, you do not collect evidence by yourself, but you have a second person as a witness. This is again to ensure the integrity of the evidence, so that you can prove it, okay, that the evidence has not been modified. Okay, so that is identifying the evidence. So now the process of acquiring, that means you want to actually sample out the evidence. Okay, so if someone is committing a crime or intentionally violating a company policies, they will hide their involvement. Okay, so in this case, when you collect the evidence, you will need to look for traces of the evidence. Okay, so sometimes it can be in the form of codes. Okay, it can be in the form of data, just data traces, data that has been deleted. Okay, data that has been deleted. It can be things like floppy disk, CD, flash memory. Okay, I think a lot of you don't know what is floppy disk already, lah. Okay, CDs maybe you still know, all right, but floppy disk I don't think it's your generation. Okay, anyone know what is floppy disk? Anyone?
Why?
Diskette. Yes, it's called diskette. Yes. Okay, correct. So Wei Xuan has just Googled the picture. All right. So yes, during my time, okay, when I was still learning about computers, all right, in my secondary school, all right, we were still using this, all right, the floppy disk. Okay, so the big disk that you see, the black color one, all right, the one that Wei Xuan is showing, the size I think is 526 kilobytes. Not even 1 megabyte, the size 526, if I'm not mistaken, 526 kilobyte. Then the smallest one that you see here, the blue color one, the size was 1.44 megabyte. All right, 1.44 megabyte. So that was the really ancient. Okay, they don't really you don't see this anymore. Okay, and you don't even see the drive anymore. Okay, so but these are all the evidence that you will be collecting. Okay, because inside it might contain the data, the logs, the data, or the records that you will need to show in the court of law. Okay. So other than that, copies of logs. So other than just at the crime scene, okay, other than just at the crime scene, okay, a lot of times at the internet service provider side, okay, at the internet service provider, that means at the, let's say in Malaysia, it would be your Telecom Malaysia, it can be Celcom, Maxis, okay, any service providers, they will have the users log as well. Users usage log. That means who they message to, who they send message to, who they call, at what time. All these are also logged at the ISP side. And this information can also be subpoenaed. Okay, so you can actually use this to extract or to ask the or to compel the ISP to provide this information. Okay, so again, this is a cat and mouse game lah. Okay, so like Yong Ming asked, if use VPN, how? All right. Yes, VPN will have another sets of difficulty lah. Okay, so yes, you use VPN, the ISP, the service provider, might not be able to check the information. But yes, what Jun Xiang say is correct. You look at the VPN provider, okay? Because VPN usually only provides end-to-end encryption. Okay, so the endpoints are usually the place to look for the information. Okay, so instead of looking at the if let's say the internet service provider cannot cannot look for the evidence, okay, then yes, it will be the endpoints. Okay, the endpoints where the encryption and decryption occur. Okay, that is where you look for the information. So that there is no one set of rules that says that you follow, then you'll get the evidence. No, there's no such thing. Okay, so it's up to how you do the investigation and how you collect the information. Yeah, they say they won't sell your data. Okay, all right. Again, like what we have discussed last week lah. Okay, there are laws, okay, such as the PDP, Personal Data Protection Act. Okay, so if let's say you suspect, okay, or if let's say you find that these companies or these organizations are selling your information, then they can be charged, okay, under the Personal Data Protection Act. Okay, so that's again, that is the function of the cyber law. All right. Okay, so other than that, okay, when you collect evidence, you should use photograph and videotapes, okay, to actually capture the evidence first. Okay, or you capture physically get a snapshot of the evidence first. Okay, so that is why again you see in the investigative series, usually there will be somebody with a photograph, correct or not? Okay, at the crime scene, then they'll start taking pictures. All right, taking pictures everywhere. Okay, because they want to capture the actual crime scene. Okay, they want to capture the actual crime scene. Okay, so let's look at one type of log. Okay, network logging. Okay, let's look at one type of network logging that you can use, okay, to collect evidence. Okay, so this is an IDS, intrusion detection system. Okay, an IDS. It does not prevent, okay, SNOT does not prevent an attack. Okay, the one that prevents attack are such as are called IPS, intrusion prevention system. Okay, this one will detect. Okay, so we'll use SNOT and we will use a version of Sparta. Okay, we'll use a version of Sparta to launch how to say a port scan. Okay, a port scan. All right, and we will see how this SNOT actually detects the attack. Okay, so all right, I have Snort installed in this old version of before Kali Linux. All right, this is they have this version called Backtrack. All right, this is Kali Linux grandfather. All right. All right, so I will be running Snort on this Backtrack, and I will be running a version of Sparta, okay, called Legion, okay, Legion in this distribution, okay. So there will be two image file running on my PC now, okay. So just to show you what is Snort, okay. So Snort has oops. Yeah, now he doesn't want to move. Wait, let me. There's something wrong with this guy here now. Oh, this guy don't want to move. You see my mouse? Let me see whether I can restart this again. So let me try to restart this, see whether this works or not. Anyone recognize these Chinese words? Hey, something wrong with the mouse already. I was working it this morning. Okay. Hey, again. Okay, I think capture. Something wrong with the mouse. I cannot show you already. Okay, so I can't demo to you this one. Oh, well, all right. Actually, what I want to show you is the Snort, all right, and we will run a Sparta. Okay, so essentially what we are doing was we are trying to. Okay, let me just perhaps I show you like this lah. Okay. So just now what I was trying to do is there will be there will be a machine, okay, running SNOT. Okay, so SNOT is actually an IDS, okay, intrusion detection system. Okay, and then I will run a version of Sparta, okay, called Legion. Okay, so Legion, okay, or Sparta 2 lah, they call it. Okay, so this is Sparta 2 is actually similar to Nmap. Okay, Nmap, but you can do a lot of this information gathering, okay, port scanning and all these things. All right. So I was actually trying to run this at here. Okay, so this one, all right, so at here, this one. So information gathering, okay, then we're on the Legion. All right, so that was what I was trying to show you. Okay, but suddenly now all don't know why all the the program suddenly haywire, so I can't show you the Sparta in action. All right, as well as actually I want to show you is this SNOT. Okay, when you run SNOT, they are actually able to detect what happens inside here. Okay, when if let's say there is an attempt to detect this kind of or attempt to run a port scan on this system here, okay, the SNOT will be able to identify and log LOG, that means record this kind of incidents. Okay, so SNOT is actually very powerful intrusion detection system, right? And they can detect things like port scan. Okay, it can detect things like ARP spoofing. Okay, if you remember correctly, ARP spoofing, we have already learned this, right? Dr. An has already teach you what is ARP spoofing. So SNOT is actually able to detect such kind of attacks. Okay, so it's also able to detect things like a virus. Okay, if let's say there's a virus attack or a malware attack. Okay, and it uses the rules. Okay, SNOT rules. Okay, it uses SNOT rules to capture this information. Okay, that means to detect port scan, ARP spoofing, and virus. So there will be a set of rules that you would always need to update. Okay, based on it's just like an antivirus like that. Okay, you will always constantly need to update those rules, right? And the more successful that you have, then you will actually get to detect this information. The more updated you are, like the more updated the rules you are. Okay, similar to your antivirus. Okay, but somehow there is a problem with the SNOT just now. I actually preset everything, so but yeah, things happen, right? Okay, so let's move on. So acquiring evidence. Okay, so when an incident occurs and the computer being used needs to be secure. Okay, so the following two things should be considered. Okay, so if let's say you have a computer there and you want to use that computer as part of the evidence, okay, so you will need to consider whether you should turn it off or whether it should be disconnected from the network. Okay, whether or not it should be turned off or whether or not it should be disconnected from the network. Again, why do you want to consider this? Whether you should turn off or whether you should be disconnected from the network. Okay, so again, it's because we want to preserve this evidence. Okay, we want to preserve this evidence. Okay, so as you see here, some forensics professional states that plug should be pulled in order to freeze the current state of the computer. Okay, meaning that we don't switch off. That means I don't go to start, I don't turn off my computer like that. Okay, if let's say the computer is part of the evidence, we will just pull out the plug so that you will freeze the particular state of the computer as part of an evidence. Okay, so but there are pros and cons. If you, let's say you pull out, it may cause loss of data and it may corrupt the computer files. Okay, but it will preserve the state of the computer. Okay, so these are some of the procedures that you might need to consider, okay, during when you are acquiring evidence. Okay, so but on the other hand, okay, it is also possible for computer criminals to leave software bombs, okay, that may be executed if you shut down or restart the computer. Okay, so a computer criminal, after he has hacked the system, okay, so sometimes he might leave something's called like software bomb, meaning that you want a software bomb will be triggered if, let's say, a certain action is done. Meaning that if, let's say, you off the computer, okay, if you switch off the computer, the software bomb will be executed and it will start to delete everything in the computer, delete all the evidence. Okay, or it may alter some of the binary files. Okay, so that's the thing. That's why you need to consider all these aspects as part of your evidence collection process. Okay, these are all related to cybersecurity. Okay. Okay, other than that, if the computer being analyzed is a server, okay, it is unlikely that the management will support taking it offline. So if, let's say, if you are investigating, let's say, a web server, okay, it is unlikely the company or the organization will allow the auditors to take the server offline. Okay, because if you take the server offline, meaning that it might not have it's not able to provide that service anymore. Okay, if, let's say, it's an email service. Okay, if, let's say, it's let's say Gmail server, unlikely they will allow the server to be taken offline. Or if, let's say, it's a WhatsApp or Facebook server, okay, again, unlikely they will allow the evidence to be taken offline. All right. So again, you will need to find the proper procedure to collect evidence in this kind of situation. Okay, so there is a relationship in terms of the complexity and the difficulty of the investigation and the reliability of the data. Okay, so it is shown in this graph here. Okay, as the data reliability, okay, as the data reliability increases, okay, as you see, the data reliability as it increases, okay, the complexity of the investigation will be more harder. It will be more difficult. Okay, so depending on the data reliability, okay, meaning that how convincing you want the data to be, okay, the more convincing you want the data to be, the more difficult the investigation will be. Okay, another thing is the difficulty of the investigation. Okay, if it's higher, then your investigation method will also be more difficult. Okay, so from this graph here, it will show you lah. Okay, if, let's say, the data reliability is not so critical, not so important, then your investigation method will just be very simple. Okay, your investigation method will just be simple. Okay, but if you want your data to be very reliable in court, meaning that once you show this data, the person will confirm be guilty. All right, then you will need to launch a very complex investigation. Okay, as you can see from this graph here. All right, now talking about file deletion. Okay, talking about file deletion. Okay, so when a user deletes a file, Okay. All right. The file is actually not deleted. Okay, the file is actually not deleted. Instead, a pointer in the file allocation table is deleted. Okay, a second file is saved in the same area. Okay, that does not occupy as many sectors as the first file. Okay. No. We are not talking about recycle bin. We are not talking about recycle bin. All right, we are talking about deletion of the file. Okay, so let me show you what do I mean by file deletion. Okay, so let's say, okay, let's say, okay, so let's say this is your file. Okay, this is your memory lah. Okay, this is your entire memory. Okay, let me put this. Okay, so memory. All right, this is the entire memory. Okay, and then you have a file here. Okay, so let's say you have a file here. Okay, that takes up this amount of memory. Okay, so let's put a different color. Okay, so this is a file here. Okay, a file here that takes up this amount of memory. Okay, so when you delete a particular file, let's say when you delete a particular file, what happens is they will just remove the pointer of the file. Okay, there will be a pointer. Okay, there will be a pointer here. Okay, there will be a pointer here that actually remove the. Okay, there will be a pointer here. Okay, that they will just tell the computer, hey, this part can be reused. Okay, so if let's say I delete the file, okay, delete. Okay, if I delete the file, okay, I will just remove the pointer. Okay, so the file is actually still there. All right, the file is actually still there. Okay, so this is what we call free space. Okay, this is what we call free space. Okay, so we can like Junling says, okay, files are still there and can be recovered. We can actually recover the files. Okay, you can actually recover the files. We will see one example using WinHex. Okay, how do we recover some files? Okay, in WinHex. Okay, another place that possible files can be hidden. Okay, another place that a file can be hidden. All right. This is still the same for even for SSD. I will show you for this. Yes, correct. SSD is still the same. I will show you an example using my thumb drive. Okay, my thumb drive. So there will be some files which I already delete, and you can still use WinHex to recover the files. Okay, so it's still the same. All right. As long as the file structure, how they do the file structure is the same, then yeah, you can still do it. All right. So another place that files can be hidden, all right, is slack space. Okay, slack space. So slack space occur because when you allocate the information, it will be in terms of blocks. Okay, it will be in terms of blocks. All right. So sometimes, all right, if let's say for a particular file, okay, the file uses, let's say here, all right, okay, we know this is the pointer, we know this is the entire memory, okay. Let's say at here, all right, it uses 6 blocks. Okay, this entire thing, this entire okay, this entire file here, okay, it uses 6 blocks. That means the system allocates 6 blocks from this file. But the actual file only uses, let's say, 5.4 blocks. Okay, if let's say the file actually uses 5.4 blocks, meaning that actually there is what we call a slack space at here. Okay, let me put another. Okay, so there is actually a slack space here. All right, so this is what we call slack space. Slack space. All right, so you have a slack space here, and sometimes, okay, sometimes people can hide information inside this slack space as well. All right, and sometimes you can also how to say, extract some evidence in this slack space. All right, you can actually extract information in this slack space. All right, so there are two places that when you collect evidence, these are the places that you can also look at. You can look at free space. You can also look at slack space. Okay. So let's look at some examples here using WinHex. All right. So I have a thumb drive here. Okay, this is a thumb drive. Can see, I don't know, can see. Thumb drive. Okay. All right. So this thumb drive, I've already deleted the files already. Okay, I've already deleted the file. So if you were to look at the let me show you. All right. So if you look at the thumb drive, inside the thumb drive, you don't see anything on. Okay, the folder is empty because I've already deleted the files. Okay, I've already deleted the files inside here. Okay, so but you can actually, like I said, the files when it's deleted, okay, it actually only means that the pointer, okay, the pointer has been removed. Okay, so there is still free space that you can recover the files. Okay, so I will be using WinHex. Okay, so I have a version here. This is the latest version of WinHex. Okay, this is the latest version. You can actually get it. Okay. All right. So this is a version of WinHex here. All right. And let's see. So let's try this out. We go to tools. So open this. Okay, so I select my the Kingston one. All right. So once I open this, okay. All right. So you can actually see that there are previous files that I deleted. Okay. So these are the previous files that I deleted. Although in the original part, I cannot see. All right. You can see here, nothing. All right. But in WinHex, I can actually recover those deleted files. Okay, and I can actually restore the files. So if let's say I want to restore the file, let's say I Cube Tiger, okay, so I can just right click, okay, I click recover or copy. Okay, let's say I go to this directory lah. Okay, I go to this directory and click OK. Okay, so one file will copy. All right. So if I go to the drive F, all right, I go to the directory. Okay, I can actually see the file. Okay, as you can see here. All right. No, this is nothing to do with all right, this has nothing to do with recycle bin. Okay, this has nothing to do with recycle bin. All right. So as you can see here, why everybody is just focusing on the tiger. Okay, everybody is just focusing on the tiger, but the thing is, there is additional things inside there. So we can actually do something called data exfiltration from steganography. Okay, later we will show you. Okay, so actually inside this picture, there is some information also. Okay, that I've actually embedded using steganography. Okay, steganography, I think Dr. An has also showed you all right, to embed the picture. So later I will show you how do we actually extract the information out. Okay. All right. So you can see here with WinHex, all right, with WinHex. Okay, or there's actually other tools as well. Okay, that will enable you to extract this information. Okay. So again, like I mentioned, this has nothing to do with the recycle bin. Okay, this has nothing to do with recycle bin. This one has even if you empty the recycle bin, the files can still be recovered on. Okay, the files can still be recovered.
Teacher, so it's like the thing from the recycle bin is still there, but we can't see it until we put in new things.
Yes, correct. Okay, I will show you about all right, the other one. All right. So we have already I've already shown you how we can use WinHex to retrieve and recover deleted files. Now you can also use WinHex to wipe files from the drive. Okay. Now if you want to wipe files from the drive, then there is the tool here. You go to these tools, I think, or file tools. File tools, wipe securely. All right, wipe securely. Now, what happens if I click wipe securely? Of course, I'm not going to do this because if I do this, then my Cube Tiger will be gone already. Okay. Now, what happens if you wipe securely? When you wipe securely means it will actually replace the entire. It will actually replace the entire block, okay, with a dummy variable. Okay, it will just the entire block with a dummy variable. Let's say either X or 0. I think 0. Usually they will just put in 0. Okay, they will fill the entire memory with zeros. Okay, so this is how they can. Once you do this, okay, the files cannot be recovered anymore. Okay, because they have already filled up the free space and the slack space. They overwrite it with other values already. Okay, so this is what we mean by wipe securely. Okay. All right. So another thing that you can use in WinHex is to repair corrupted files. I'm showing you all this is because these are all part of computer forensics. Okay. When you recover files, how you recover files. Okay. If let's say somebody tries to hide their evidence, okay, by deleting files. Okay, so this is the way how you actually retrieve some of the deleted files. Okay, and yeah, physically shred the hardware also is a way lah, right? Of course. Okay, and how do you repair a corrupted file? So let's try this this example here. So let's say you have a corrupted file here. Okay, you will actually do this in your lab 6 later on. All right, but I just show you one example, right? How do you recover some of the corrupted files? Okay, so let's say at here I have this file here. This is corrupted. Okay, this is corrupted. Man3. Okay, this is a corrupted file. Okay, so what you can do here is you can actually analyze the files. Okay, you can actually analyze the file. So let's open the file. Okay, perhaps I use the older WinHex because with that is what you're going to use it, so that you are more familiar lah. If not, after that you cannot relate. Okay, so let me open this. So where is my main tree? All right, so here, all right, so this is the file here. Okay, I do not know what is the file. Okay, I do not know what is the file and I don't know how to recover this. Okay, so first thing is, all right, so first thing is you want to do is you might want to analyze the file. Okay, so you go to tools, you go analyze files. Okay, then you get this kind of analysis. Okay, you get this kind of graph. All right, so from this graph you can actually try to see similar patterns. Okay, you can actually try to see similar patterns. All right, similar patterns on this graph here. Okay, so if you look at your lab 6, all right, if you look at your lab 6, okay, so we have actually given you some hints, all right, some similar patterns, okay. So let's say we assume that it looks like a JPEG. Okay, let's say from the graph it looks like a JPEG. All right, so now we guess. All right, we suspect that this is a JPEG file. So now we want to repair this JPEG file. Okay, and we found that the header, okay, there's something wrong with the header here. Okay, there's something wrong with the header here. All right, so we want to repair this header. Okay, so what we can do is we can open a similar file, a similar working file. Okay, like maybe we use this cute tiger that Yi Chun has posted. All right, we use the same JPEG file. Okay, so we open, let's say we use this. Okay, so we see that this is a JPEG file. Okay, and it has the header FFD8 FFEO 001048464946. Okay, so we use this one. Okay, we use this information here. All right, so now we repair. Okay, FFD8. Okay, FFEO. Okay, 00. Okay, 10. Okay, 4A46. Okay, 4A46. All right, 4946. Okay, I think that should be enough lah. Okay, so then we save this. Okay, we save this. So for go file, we save as another. Let's say we save it as 3B. Okay, we save this as 3B. Okay. All right. So we are done saving. So let's go back. Okay, so now we have 3B. So now since we know that this is a JPEG file, so we need to include the the extension. Okay, so .jpg. All right. So now we double click. Okay. All right. You get this picture. All right. So these are different ways. These are different ways how you can. I'm actually exposing you to different methods of that is being conducted during computer forensics. Okay, during computer forensics. Okay, so things are like we try to retrieve and recover deleted files. Okay, we repair corrupted files, or how people actually wipe files from the drive. Okay, these are things that you need to take note. Okay. So we will take a break a while. So at the moment, I will show you the attendance. Okay, you can take your attendance for today. So now is week 5. Everybody showing tiger picture already. Okay, so this is 1213. Wait a minute. Let me put up all the pictures first. Okay, so this is for L. Oops. Okay, L2. Okay. Yep. Please scan your attendance. Right. So 5 seconds more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Done. Okay, so we are done with this. All right. Okay. So other than that, how do you after you have collect, okay, you see you have already done all the. Okay, good. All right, Yichun has saved all the QR codes. All right, so now after you have recovered, okay, all this evidence, okay, you have maybe, let's say the attacker or the malware has caused some corrupted some files, and you have repaired the corrupted files. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to ensure, or you want to prove that the evidence have not been tampered or modified. Okay, so what you want to do is you need to create a hashing or message digest. Okay, so if files, logs, and other information need to be captured and used for evidence, ensure data is not being modified. So you need to create message digest or hashing, okay, using hashing. All right, so this is where hashing, okay, comes in already. You see the purpose of why you need hashing. Okay, again, hashing is a one-way encryption. Okay, hashing is a one-way encryption. So how do you prove by with hashing? How do you prove with hashing that the information has not been modified? Okay, how do you do that? Okay, so what you want to do is, all right, let's say you have the evidence. Okay, so you have the evidence here. Okay, so let's say you have the evidence. So evidence, right? You have this evidence here, and then you go through a hash. Okay, you go through a hashing. Okay, and out comes your hash value. Okay, so this one you go through here, it goes through hashing, and out comes the hash value. Okay, now this hash value you will need to log it. Okay, you log it. That means at, let's say, day one, let's say okay, or you put a date, okay, date and time. Okay, and of course the auditor. Okay, that means the person who do this hashing. All right, so you have the hash value here. Okay, so during the court, okay, during in the trial, okay, you will produce the same evidence again. Okay, you will show, okay, this is evidence 2325, okay, or 2523 or whatever lah. This is evidence. Okay, exhibit A. Okay, so the defense team might question the prosecutor. Okay, the defense might question, how do you ensure that this evidence has not been tampered? Okay, so then this is where you need to again run through the hashing algorithm. Okay, so first you need to tell, okay, we have already done the hashing at this time, this date, and by who. Okay, and this is the hash value. Okay, this is the hash value. Okay, so then during court, if let's say people question the authenticity of the evidence, okay, so you need to run this again. Okay, you need to run this again. You take the evidence, you go through the hashing, okay, and then you produce the hash value. Okay, of course, this now the date is different, okay, the date is different. Okay, you produce the hash value. Now, if this hash value and this hash value are the same, then it shows that the evidence is the same. The evidence has not been tampered. Okay, so this is one way, the purpose of message digest and hashing, okay, is to prove in the court that the evidence is authentic, valid, has not been tampered or modified. Okay. All right. So other than that, all right, other than that, you can also use write once media. Okay, write once media such as a CD-ROM. Okay, so that all the evidence, you burn the evidence inside the CD-ROM. Okay, so this also is one way to show that the evidence has not been modified. This is also one way to do it. Okay, and of course, this one is on steganography. Like I mentioned, sometimes people can hide information inside pictures as well. Okay, so this is very common, a common attack, okay, called data exfiltration. Okay, data exfiltration, meaning that you want to take data to bypass a security measure. Okay, so sometimes let's say in a company, okay, let's say I think during lecture last time, Dr. An like to say a lot about NASA or something, right? Okay, so let's say there's a secret that an attacker wants to take out. Okay, so they may hide an information inside a picture. Okay, they might hide the information inside the picture, and then if let's say they go through the security checkpoint, when people see, okay, or if let's say they bypass the firewall checked, okay, you just see, oh, it's just a picture. Okay, so they will allow the picture to be sent out. Okay, but unknowingly inside the picture, people have already used steganography to hide some secret inside the image. All right, people have already hide information inside the image. Okay, so there are a few ways lah. All right, there are a few ways to detect whether there are hidden messages or hidden files inside an image. Okay, so one way is to use hashing, as you can see here. Okay, so this one we use back the same tools that we used last time, hash my files. Okay, hash my file. We use this same tool that we used inside. Can you hide text inside a hidden text? Hide inside an image? Steganography is hiding hiding information inside an image. It can be files, it can be text. Okay, it can be files or it can be text. Okay, steganography lah. Steganography is specifically for image. That means you are hiding things inside the image file. Okay, so but if you have the original, okay, if you have the original file, then yes, you can use hash my file and you can see the hashing. If the hashing is different, okay, as you can see here, jellyfish 1 and jellyfish 2. Okay, jellyfish 1 and jellyfish 2. You see the hashing, they are totally different. Okay, totally different, jellyfish 1 and jellyfish 2. Okay, so you know, if let's say you know jellyfish 1 is the copy of the file, and you know jellyfish 2 is the original file, then you will suspect already there is something different in this copy of the file, and maybe perhaps, okay, perhaps they have data exfiltration is occurring. Okay, some form of data exfiltration is occurring. Okay. All right. So okay, just to show you a simple again a simple exercise on data exfiltration. Okay. So in here I have two files. Okay, in here I have two files already. Okay, again back to the Cute Tiger. Okay, so one is called Cute Tiger JPG, and another one is Cute Tiger UCCN 1213. Okay, so from the outside, okay, you see they are the same. Okay, this is Cute Tiger. Okay, this is Cute Tiger UCCN 1213. They are the same. Okay, you cannot differentiate just by looking. Okay, you cannot differentiate based on the size also. I don't think you can differentiate so much because the size is very little. Okay, this is 46.7, 46.6. If you look at the, let's see, if you look at the where is my, oh, I think it's in here. Right. So if you look at this, all right, so you have two, okay. You look at the size in Windows is 46.6, here also 46.6. All right, they see the same thing one. All right, so you cannot actually really differentiate even based on the size. Sometimes the file size might be something small. Okay, something very small. All right. So what you need to do is you will need to actually send this. You really need to check this. Okay. So one way again is to use stack height. Okay, you can use stack height. So let's say sudo su. So let's see ls. All right. So let's say again, we already show that this cute tiger has. I mean, for me I know this has a hidden file inside. All right, it has a hidden file inside. So let's try to extract this information out. Okay, so the process, okay, stack hide, okay, extract. Okay, so stack hide extract, okay, -sf cute tiger. Okay, so enter passphrase. So uccn 1213. Okay, root. Okay, so I've successfully extracted out a zip file. Okay, so now if I were to look into the information here, I would have a zip file. Okay, it shows that the picture might be the same. File size might also be the same, but there is actually a possibility that we can actually hide data inside. So this can be done by an attacker or a person inside an organization when they want to steal information out of the organization. Okay, they might hide in a file that looks innocent, but inside there can be a file inside. All right, and this also can be an attacker hiding a virus. Okay, an attacker hiding a virus inside this picture also can. That means when a person double clicks the picture, at the background the virus is activated. Okay, so it's also possible. All right, so what is inside the secret? If I double click, okay, there's a secret text message. Okay, thank God it's not any malicious code. All right. Okay, so this is again some form of, if you copy paste a picture, yes, of course, as long as it's the same copy of the picture, yes, it will be still the same. The hash value will be still the same. Okay, as long as the picture has not been modified, it's an exact copy, the hash value will be the same. Okay. All right. So another way to I found some tools, other tools to check whether there is a possible files inside a steganography. Okay, whether there's possible files inside steganography. So this is one of them. All right, so let's see this. Okay, this is a web page. Oh, page not found already. So fast. Let me see what's happening. Right. Let me see. McAfee. Steganography analysis tool. Okay, so yeah, so drop an image here. So let's try the cute tiger again and see whether there's an image inside or not. Okay, so we have this image here. All right, let's drop it in. Okay, All right, so you can see here, suspicious. Yes, image might be concealing data using steganography. Okay, so even though if let's say the image is encrypted, right? Because of steganography, we have some encryption. Remember just now I typed in the password, right? So there are tools available, okay, such as this one by McAfee, all right, to scan and to check whether people might be concealing information inside the picture, okay, using steganography. All right. All right. There are other, okay. With compare hash, I already show you. Okay. Beanwalk is another tool. All right, and VSL, Virtual Steganographic Laboratory. Okay, these are all tools available to analyze steganography files. Okay, or steganography related files. Okay, so this is one, okay, Virtual Steganography Laboratory. Okay, and you can try this out yourself. All right. Okay. And lastly, all right, you talk about watermarking. Okay, we talk about watermarking. So watermarking is used to verify the identity and authenticity of the owner of a digital image. Okay, so this will be more towards copyright protection. Okay, it will be used for more towards copyright protection, meaning that to avoid people from claiming a particular work. Okay, to avoid people claiming from a particular work belongs to them. Okay, even though somebody else did the work. Okay, so that is where watermarking comes in. All right, and it can also be used for source tracing. Okay, it also can be used for source tracing. So to remove watermark, of course, it will not be so easy to remove watermarks. Okay. Yes, in videos usually there will be a lot of watermarks. Okay, especially now, if let's say you for Zoom, let's say a video that is recorded in Zoom. Okay, nowadays I think if you look at the bottom right hand side, okay, there will be a watermark there, Zoom, ZOOM. Okay, so that is a watermark there. Okay, so again, is for for copyright protection. Okay, can you remove watermark? Answer is yes, of course you can remove. There are a lot of ways to remove watermark, but the thing is, it's not so easy. Okay, it's not so easy to remove a watermark. Okay, so let's say talking about ringgit. Okay, just a very simple example of a watermark. Okay, a ringgit banknote. Okay, so the shaded watermark portrait of the first Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Okay, in the clear panel on the left hand side can be seen when the banknote is upheld on the mark or on the light. Okay, that is a watermark. Okay, then watermark has a three-dimensional look. Okay, with three different tones and light appearing in soft and shady without sharp outlines. Okay, then there will be a number 10 visible in the denomination. Okay, so if you look clearly here, okay, you can actually see the watermark here. You can actually see the watermark here. Okay, so this is, again, the purpose of this is for copyright protection. Okay, why they put this watermark here? Why do they put this? All right, it's actually a form of security feature. Okay, a form of security feature. All right, number one, ownership, yes, but in this case, in this example here, is a form of security feature to prevent people from making copies of this 10 ringgit. Yes, to make to make it harder for people to create fake money. Okay, photostat, never mind. Photostat is still black and white. But if you scan it, okay, and if you have a very good printer, okay, then that's this kind of fraud might occur. Okay, so this is one part. All right. So to your if let's say your question is, can you make this watermark or not? The answer is, of course you can. Okay, there are techniques. Okay, sure there are techniques to create this kind of watermarks, but the cost to create this, okay, might not be worth it already. Okay, to make this fake, to make a fake note, bank note. Okay, the cost might not be worth it already. Okay, so it isn't impossible. Okay, it's not impossible to replicate, but then the cost might be already maybe more than 10 ringgit. Okay, just to print the watermark. Okay, so this will actually already discourage a potential fraudulent maker, okay, or fake money maker. Okay, so some people like Wei Chin says, then do the 100 ringgit. Of course, but then if you look at the 100 ringgit, there will be additional security features inside the note itself. Okay, so another feature is this one. As you can see here, this is they call it the security thread or something. Okay, then there will be the multi-color tape or something. All right, so there will be more and more security feature to make it more difficult to produce the fake money. Okay, I've seen some documentaries, okay, because Malaysian ringgit is there are not much fake, but the most, can you tell me which is the most commonly how to say, commonly duplicate money? Yes, the USD, right? So US dollars is the most occurrence one. Okay, the most occurrence of fake US dollars. Okay, the most occurrence of fake money is on the US dollars. Okay, and can someone tell me which department, which US department is in charge to investigate on counterfeit money? Everybody know what US dollars is most counterfeit? FBI, are you sure? CIA. Feds. Okay. Jia is correct. Okay. Secret Service. Okay. So it is the Secret Service that actually does the investigation for counterfeit money. All right. Okay. So lastly, all right, we are about to end already lah. This is the last part. Okay. So you definitely need to protect all your evidence. Okay. From after you have collect your evidence, you have secured your evidence. Okay. You need to ensure that your evidence is will not be exposed to damage. Okay, you want to prevent that from happening. Okay, so you need to ensure the evidence is protected from humidity, water, okay, magnetic fields or vibration. Okay, and also static. Okay, static is very important. Okay, so especially for electronic devices like hard disk, when you're handling a hard disk. Okay, every time they mention that you need to wear static free gloves. Okay, so that if you touch in the event, let's say your hand is charged, okay, when you touch those devices, it will not damage the device, the electronic device. Okay, so this is protecting the evidence physically, okay, from damages. Okay, and then yeah, of course you need to store the evidence so that people how to say from potential someone from breaking into the evidence storage room and stealing the evidence away. Okay, this can happen as well. All right, as well as okay, ensure that it is in a controlled environment. Okay, that has physical security. Okay, minimal traffic and controlled access. Okay, so this is on physical security already. Okay, it's not of course our subject is on cyber security. Okay, so how do we protect our system from malwares, from hacking, okay, from denial of service attacks. Okay, but at the same time, we must also take into consideration physical security. Okay, when you store your evidence, okay, it must be in a strong room, okay, perhaps in a safe, okay, with CCTV monitoring, with security guards, with control access. That means who has access to the evidence room. Okay, who has access to the evidence room and at what time they access the evidence room and what are their activities inside the evidence room. All this needs to be monitored. Okay, so unless there are specific tools to take forensic images, okay, DOS should be used. So this is for evidence, analyzing the evidence. When you analyze the evidence, okay. So in this case, they will always use DOS. Okay, that means command line to access the evidence. Okay, or put it from a CD. Okay, because this is a read-only media. Okay, once you have write all the evidence inside, okay, you put it from the CD, it will be just a read-only media. Okay, and then there must be a chain of custody. That means who handled the evidence. All this is very important, again, to ensure the integrity and the validity of the evidence. Okay, who handled the evidence? The chain of custody. Okay, the chain of custody. Yeah, that means all person who handled the evidence has to be recorded. That means you must know who actually handled the evidence to ensure the integrity of this evidence. Okay. All right. So with that, okay, we are more or less done on this computer forensics. Okay, so I hope that in this lecture, okay, you will actually get an idea, okay, on the different tools available to collect evidence, the tools available to scan and recover files, okay, and how you should handle the evidence. Okay, how you should handle the evidence. Okay, because all this evidence is vital when it is presented in the court of law. Okay, it's vital when presented in the court of law. All right, so we are done. Okay, perhaps I would still want to show you the snort thing, but I not sure whether we can run this or not. Let me try this once more. See, hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, then we will just end the class. Right? Let me try once more. Okay, we still have about 10 minutes, so we have time. Okay, yeah, one last try. If it works, then yay. Yeah, cannot lah. See, I don't know why suddenly it happens this. Click to access the size location. Yeah, cannot. So, oh well, I cannot show you the snort in action. Okay, perhaps in a later time when we have perhaps when we have another time when I find what is the problem with that, then I can demo to you. All right. So yeah, I think I can stop the recording.